Hey, how do I get on my computer?
Same link.
I know, but I wasn't on my computer. Go ahead. It's all good.
All right, we're back live halftime. Rhodey with a nice little finish there to end the half. I think we're down 5. What were your thoughts, Mark? Reactions?
I thought a little inconsistent, but aggressive play. I like the toughness Elijah Saunders showed. With Louisville always has these guys that talk trash. It's like they go and they recruit. We talked before the game started, T-Dubs, about personnel. Do college coaches recruit certain type of guys? It almost seems like Louisville recruits at least a couple of trash talkers on their team.
Yeah, they have that swagger.
Whatever you want to call it. I think you got to win to be able to talk trash too, right? But they seem a little tougher this year and also more skilled, obviously. But I like Elijah Saunders talking back and getting in the guy's face and letting him know, like, you're not doing that to me. You're not doing that to this team.
That's right.
You need guys like that. You really do need guys like that. And it's not fake. It's real. Right? There's a real sense of toughness.
So at the half, we got Andrew Rhodey with 8. Isaac McNeely's got 8. Elijah's got 6. Tane's got 2. Kofi's got 3.
Yeah.
I mean, we tied it up a few times. I thought we hung him tight.
Yeah, but I expect to win. I don't expect to just like kind of hang in. By the way, I love Marky's wearing Bryant's your son Bryant's shirt, the Warriors.
That's right. He's in the Warriors League.
Yeah, my thing with Virginia basketball, like now, some things really good. Rhodey has 8 points. He had like a couple of baffling plays. Like the true, you don't have to be the best player every play every time, but just some baffling things that happen in between that I think we could. I'm not sure how you cut down on it. The guys.
Fresh, are you talking about feeding the post when guys are wide open?
Well, no, like when he got open. He got open one time. He just
throw a bounce pass. Throw a bounce pass to the guy who's got his guy sealed. One time, Rhodey. I know it's not as cool as pointing and telling everyone where to go. Throw the guy a bounce pass on the block so he can score. I get so mad at that. Sorry.
Are you suggesting that Rhodey has got a future in with the airlines? Directing the planes?
Yeah, so I looked up the Delta #1 ranked recruits in the country. Rhodey is #1. Rhodey is #1 behind the girl at Mall of America. Besides her,
because he went outside to take a piss and he got attacked by an alligator in Florida tonight. Just for the record, that's why he's coming in hot. Don't take it out on the alligator.
God Almighty! Fresh. I didn't get to play a lot, but what I did well was feed the post.
The best ever.
And we had great guys. And you were great at this too, getting it to Bryant. But when guys were open down there, TJ, Bryant Stiff, Junior, we threw it to him.
Right.
We didn't retreat dribble and start pointing and creating false value for ourselves. We threw it to the guy who could get basically a 70% shot, right? Oh God! Don't get me going.
Let me ask you though: what's the success rate if he does throw the ball down the post? And are you seeing these guys open where they can just turn and flip and make a layup, or are they going to be guarded while they're in the post?
Dude, Saunders. Pressure? Yeah, Saunders has been open since the blue-white scrimmage. We've been talking about it offline for a long time. All you got to do is get it to him. The guy is built like Rob Gronkowski / he's physically, he's just get it to him. Yes, there's some big guys on Louisville, but you don't need to retreat dribble, point 3 times to reverse the ball. Either catch it and reverse it or throw it to the guy. And by the way, he made some nice plays. Rhodey had some nice plays, especially the one at the end of the half, which was kind of crafty and good. But God, when guys are open, 3 feet from the basket, throw it to them. Why are we doing this? I don't get
That's
it.
my point. His really good plays, you're like, wow, he's good. And then just baffling things. Like the guy, he pump faked the guy jumped over his head, and then he just like stood on the floor and flipped it over the backboard, essentially. Like there's like a
You don't get more points. You don't get more points for like directing people. Like, get the guy the ball who's sealed his man and actually worked really hard. Saunders is really good at this.
Right.
They run action for him to get open. We don't throw it to him. Like, if a guy's hand is up and he's on the block and he's 6'8", 240, throw it to him.
They've earned the ball at that point. You're exactly right.
Yep.
I mean, Elijah even took the ball from the 3-point line and then just started posting up from there because he's probably frustrated, I'd imagine.
Hey,
right?
and to your point, T-Dub, there was a play last game against NC State where someone finally threw it to him when he had his guy sealed. He had an N1 and he was talking, and I tried to read his lips, but I don't know what he said, but my guess is he was saying, I've been open since the blue-white scrimmage. Throw me the damn ball because I'm here every play. I'm open, and I'm better than, like, the degree of difficulty shot we're going to get later in the clock. Like, give the guy the ball.
All right.
And he also played in the Final Four, didn't he? Wasn't his team in the Final Four? Like, he's – you know, I saw somebody today for Florida. He went to Florida Atlantic. He played in the Final Four. They're not like disturbed by these big scenarios, right? They've been around and stuff, right? And that's the guys you kind of, you know, when we were young, Brian.
Wait, Elijah played in the Final Four?
We leaned on that stuff, right?
T-Dub, did Elijah play in the Final Four? I don't know.
I think so.
Finals against UConn, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Give him the ball. More to my point. Give that man the ball. He is working his ass off to seal guys and get open. You know how many times I see Rhodey's on the same side of him and he's pointing and directing. Throw the ball to the guy who just worked his ass off to get it. Junior, Brian Stith, Ted Jeffries, they worked their ass off to get the ball. Get him the ball. Right,
you know who Saunders is, and I've gone through iterations of this. He's Kenny Turner.
I agree with that.
He post up, he can shoot threes,
Yeah,
he's savvy, he's smart, he navigates the court on his own terms. He's Kenny Turner.
Yeah.
He's
without the knee problems.
Yeah. Well, TW will get that reference. I hope Jen will get it. I'm not sure who else will, but anyhow.
No, but he's versatile, right? I think the point is he's a versatile player who can score at different areas of the game, right?
That's right.
Paint from the outside, attacking the basket, and so he becomes very valuable. He's a very valuable commodity, and we got to figure out a way to get him the ball. When we look at the numbers, before we look at the numbers, actually, minus that one stretch where Louisville went on the 7-0 run, I thought it was a pretty effective first half.
It was. I agree. We fought hard.
Yeah, no, we look at the numbers: 2 for 9 from 3, not great. Getting out rebounded by 7. Bench is getting outscored 17-0.
Oh wow!
On what? Fast break?
I'm sorry.
Bench points.
Oh, bench points.
Okay. I think Tane's going to have a big game this half. Tane got into it with somebody. I think he's going to come out. I think he's going to have a big game. You know, I'll ask a question, which is a tough one to have. Buchanan started most of last year, if not all of it. He started a lot of this year. He's not starting now, but he still plays a lot. Do you think coaches, because the guy was a starter and now he's in his second year or whatever, we haven't seen Anthony Robinson is my point. Do you think they just give preference to the guy because he started before, now he should still start? You know, you were on the other end of that, so I'm curious.
Yeah. I think coaches get it wrong a lot. Like Anthony Robinson should be playing. I mean, I talked in the pregame about Scott catching lobs. I think he had 3 lob dunks in the first half.
How many did he miss?
He's getting those on A-Rob. Like, A-Rob, put your shoulder into the guy, knock a guy out. You know who I miss? You know who I thought about in the first half, and you guys will get this, and I think LRA will? you know, when we were, go back a few years, we had Huff and we had Poppy, and I always loved Poppy because there was like a toughness about him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
We have always been. We're not soft because we play so hard, but we don't have like a guy that's going to be like, pop you in the mouth. A-Rob set that screen on the guy in NC State. That guy's bell was rung. I guarantee he woke up nauseous the next day.
Yep.
You remember that? Remember that play? Like,
Yep.
There's still in this day and age a bit of physicality, and like A-Rob, if they put him out there and he's setting screens to get us the ball up the court when we're trying to advance it against pressure, you put A-Rob there, it's like a real deal. He bangs a couple guys around down low, like that matters. And I think it's a little bit of a lost thing in the game, but Fresh, you probably ran into a bunch of hard picks in the ACC. I definitely remember some like,
But you know what the grades have? To your point, I can say in the ACC I did, but guess where most of them were?
high
At
school.
U-Haul in practice.
Oh yeah, totally.
Ted
That's what I
Jeffries,
mean.
Kenny Turner, dude, Crotty's elbows.
TJ.
Yeah, TJ had the greatest ever on Thomas Hill at home. TW was in junior high watching that one, probably lost his popcorn. Go back, guys. Google Ted Jeffries screen, Thomas Hill, U-Haul, Duke. How many things can you put in a URL? And people say Jack Salch was great. It was, but TW killed a man. I'm sorry, Ted Jeffries killed a man on that one, and completely legal.
And by the way, it only takes one, and then people start paying attention. But there's a lack of I want to see, I think we're trying to find our identity, and we slowed it down this half for sure. We're trying to play our game, and Louisville, right? We're in the 30s. Both teams are 30s and 20s at the half. So we've slowed it down. There's an element of physicality that you lob that onto it, and then everyone's really slow and a little hesitant. Like that matters. It really does. But I don't know. You see Florida play Kentucky, and they win. Florida scores 100 points at Rupp Arena, and they lose, as Fresh said.
Yep.
To Kentucky. Maybe set a few screens, and that game's in the high 70s and low 80s. Slow that. Just bang some people. I just miss our toughness that we've had in the past with guys like Kenny Turner, who Fresh mentioned, Ted Jeffries, Jack Salt. There's been others. TW can probably name a bunch, but
yeah, that's a big difference. I think when we talked about the defense, we don't have an anchor. Just looking back to the Tony Bennett era of Akil, you had Darion, you had Jack Salt, you had Mama D. This is a big run of guys who. Isaiah Zay right there on the bench. Those guys had great instincts. They had incredible athleticism, so they were able to erase a lot of stuff on the back end, and we don't have that right now. Blake and the other guys are young. A-Rob even they're young. It's tough. You think A-Rob?
We have it. We're not playing it. Put A-Rob in, and I guarantee Scott wouldn't have 3 lob dunks in the first half if A-Rob was in there. He would have jack somebody up. There's an element of it's not hockey. We're not talking hockey, but there's got to be a little bit of you think of Larry Johnson, when we played, or Rodney Rogers, or Google it. Walt Williams would jack guys up. I'm not advocating for fouls. I'm just saying
tough.
Bring toughness back. Sometimes you have to be counter-cyclical with your philosophy.
All right, game's back on. Post game.
Yeah, post game.
Go Who's. We're gonna win this one. Get it. Huge second half.